we stopped. So please, if you are just landing here and you've not watched the previous videos, it would be wise to go back and check them out. Alright, so what we want to explain now is the margin and the padding. So let's highlight this. Let's increase the font size. Alright, then we'll come back here, and instead of going to main options, you come to layout position. Now, before I talk about the padding and the margin, I like to put an highlight here because sometimes you might need it. Let me show you an example. Let's say you want to highlight this. You come to main options. This is color, but this is highlight. Get it? So let's see. On highlight, choose a color, you click apply, you click out. This is what I'm trying to achieve here. So when you are editing, these are very useful. So let's say we want something like this, and we say apply. Alright, then I'd like to change the color to white. Apply. Okay, and I'd like to increase it a little bit. Alright, so back to our layout and positioning. So I'm going to be increasing this using the mouse. Hold on please, be back in a minute. Alright, so when we highlight this, if I just clicking inside this place, this is the padding. Alright, and this is just like the spacing within a box or a content box. Okay, so while this is the margin, outside the spaces between two boxes. So I'm going to increase the margin up, margin down. You can see that that's margin, the spaces here. Let me see if I can do a background color so that you will understand what I'm trying to say rather than use that. So to have a background color, I'm going to use this as an example. You come to background style. Clicking on background style, this is solid color, this is image. If you want to put image as the background, we have the gradient and we have patterns. So I'm just going to use one color. Let's see another color. And you click apply. You see that? Okay. For the sake of this video, that looks like it's too sharp. Alright. So this is good. So I'm going to be using the pattern again. So come back to your layout and position. So do you see that? Do you see that? That's pattern. Then this, just click and drag, and click and drag. You can use it to do any type of design, whatever it is that you think you want. You get it? So just be creative about it. And if you click the lock in the center, it will move everything at once. You see that? And put the same uniform measurement there. Okay, same goes for this, the margin, but I don't want the same thing at the margins, so I'm going to be controlling the margins myself. Okay, that is that. Still on background, when we select this, come back to my background style, and we have image. So you could choose to select any image on your. Let me see if I have an image I could use. Okay, let's see this. Alright, I'll manage this. So you select your image or you upload, select files. That's what I did, to upload another image depending on what you want. This is another image. So I now have two images, so you can just select this and insert post. Look at that. Okay, so if you don't like something, you could cancel comment. I want it inside this. Okay, this is not the background. Let's see. Background image. Let's choose this. Alright. So this is what I said the other time. You have not saved your work for 10 minutes, we recommend blah blah blah, then it reminds you to save. Alright. So I'm going to be using this, and there are different kind of styles depending on the size of the image. This is default, cover, we have contain. We are going to be practicing some of them, percentage, but I'll leave it at cover. Click apply, then this save work. Our text is still there, so I can now change the text color. I'm just showing you the possibilities of what you can do when you begin to edit your content. Okay, that's all about that. Now, what if we want to have something like this button and we link it, which takes me to okay, let me explain that. Should it be long? Okay, let's continue. Alright, so towards the right sidebar here, you can see add elements. You have virtually almost everything you need to build a correct, complete, and nice landing page. So you have the text if you want to type all these texts. You have the image if you want to insert an image yourself. What do? Just click and drag on the page. Then it brings out the box. Click this, insert post. That's very simple. That's how to bring in an image. And you could begin to use your size. You can see, like I've said, everything you bring out here, any element you bring out here has its own properties. All you have to do is to learn to play with them. We've discussed on issues about main options. You can take your time to play with them. I could add a caption to it. I could add a link to the image so that when they click on it, it will link somewhere. You can put your URL here. You can ask it to open in a new tab. I'm not going to be discussing that now. Okay, we have image effects, like editing your image. If you have an idea of Photoshop, I don't think you should be doing that here anyway. We have the same positioning also. Then this one is borders and corners. You could please take your time to play with them. For example, I could have rounded borders by clicking and dragging. You see that? By clicking and dragging. And if you want just only one page, one of these corners, you can select it, then drag. You just have to be creative about what it is you want to achieve. And this is just for borders. For example, if I click on this, I have to select the kind of border style I want. You see that appearing here, and I increase it. Just be creative and don't over design. Don't complicate matters. What you want to do is to make impact, touch lives, and make sales. That's why we are here. Alright, so I'm going to save my work. That is that about that. Okay, let me just do one or two things more in this so that the next video will now build it proper. Okay, so that's text. This is text. Just click, then drag, then you can begin to type. I could copy a text from here. Right click, copy, come back here, click, paste. It's as simple as that. Then you begin to edit. Depends on what you want. What else do we have in the elements? We have our button, which I'm going to be talking about later. This is columns. Okay, the same way method that was used in this page. This is one column, this is one column, this is one column. You just have to be creative about it. So let's take, for example, this is this. How do we achieve that? Let's say columns is coming in here. So what kind of columns you want? Two, one of that. Just select one. You can see that. So when you have the columns like this, on clicking on one, each of them you can change whatever it is that is there, but you have to insert your text here. So you come back here, click on text, drag it inside. For this place, it will be an image like we have here. So come back, click on this, click on image, and we have image. Cancel for now. Then this also can come back, click on text, put it here. So that's that. Here I could have what I copied. I'm going to be working on it later on. What I copied. Then here, what do you have? Insert your image, and boom, that's it. Now you can play with all this. I've said it before. Now what if I want this image to be in the center, vertical center? What do? You come to your layout position. We're playing with this also. Align center. Okay, that's the center. Yes. Now one of the things you could do to this is to increase the padding. Yes, so that you can just adjust the center. When I see something more that I can, let's see, vertical, this, okay, that's not it. This, let's just hold that for now, please. Let's be creative. If I have any other idea, I'll put it on the main page, but that's the way I know to do it for now. That's it. I save my work again, come back to our page and reload. Just been playing with all these one by one. You can see we have these, and that's it. So what else can we find here? You have your background section, okay, content box, templates, logo, building blocks, content review. Just make sure you play with this, the important ones and words. If you have questions, please ask them on the group on how do I achieve this. If you want to bring in a form, this is lead generation. We're going to take a video for forms. Okay, we have progress bar. If you want to insert a table, this is the style list. Let me quickly talk about this. If you click this and you drag it anywhere you want, please, anywhere you think it will work. You can see it as easy as that, and that's what our guys used in creating this. You just have to be creative. So we have paste, I could duplicate, we have paste, and we have paste. So look at it properly. Now this is a different thing with its own properties. This has its own properties also, but I could change everything at once. Sometimes if you click, you are trying to select and it's not selecting, you can come to this place at the top bar here. So if I'm trying to select something and it's not selecting, I could click this. You can see after, just all you have to do is select one of the items first, then you begin to see these breadcrumbs. Yes, I think it's breadcrumbs, but I want to select everything at once. So this is the main container. Or sometimes all you have to do is just keep moving your mouse to the edges and you get them. You can see what do we want? This. Okay, so I can click this, then come back to start list. It's selected. What do I want to achieve with this place? Sometimes the spacing between this and this could be too close. The moment you do that, you will see it and you'll be able to add spacing to it. Okay, what if I want more than 3? The moment I select it, the same way I selected, let me do it again. Click on 1, then the whole selection to select everything. All you have to do is come here and add new and add new, then you edit. You could also change the typography. I've explained this before. Capital letter, everything changes at once. Small letter. You could add your background style that we've been doing since. So that's why I went through all those before. Okay. Now, if you want to work on each of them, you can see. So just select it. Then, oh, excuse me, please. So you have to, since everything is working at once, all you need to do is, if you want to add, just be creative and add different things. This locked padlock, just click on it to unlock. So each of them will now stay on its own. Go explain, Taya. Do you understand that? So that's that about that. But please, like I said, be creative but be simple. So I'm going to have to lock it again so that everything works at once. So now I want to change this. Assume you want to change this style, because they have to use, you can see the simplicity on our page. So you can come in here, click on this, then look for the main options, click on this main options, change icon. You have hundreds of icons there. It's taking time to load, and you can choose any of them. Let me wait for it to load. Hello, calendar. Don't worry, don't mind me, it's my internet. I'm trying to upload a file also at the same time. So, alright, now that it's loaded, you can see this. You can see this. Depends on exactly what you want to achieve with it. Let's see. I saw something I like. This. Select, and the whole thing changes at once. Okay, that's how to insert a style list. Alright, why is it taking time? I'm going to pause the video, and when it's done, I'll continue. Okay, I think it's done. Alright, so still on this, you could, like I said, just play with the properties. You could increase the size if you want. Could rotate the icon if you want. Play with it. I think that's that about that. What else can we bring into this that we might be needing? Contact form, style box, pricing tables. You can play with that. Like what we have on our page. Everything is done with Drive Architect. All you need to do, you can see this, is to be creative. I won't waste time here because we already have the pages where you'll be leading people to. So any of that you could play with. How do I insert a button? Because we are going to be working with it later. You click on this, then you can also type here if you don't remember the name, button. Please let me do that again. You click on plus, then you come to search element, button. That's all. So I can click this button and drag out, and that's it. So with the button, you come again to the sidebar. I've always said that choose the color you want. Depends, that's on you, not me. This, okay, and you click apply. How do you change the text that is on it? Alright, just click, okay. Get me carols now. Alright, could change the font. You said this before. Google font, recommended font, Montserrat. Okay, apply, increase the font size. Okay, and that's all about that for now. I will choose black. So you can see what happens when I click on the text is different from you can see the options. It's different from what happens when I select the button itself. That's why if it's too difficult to select, if you are not too good with it, just come here to the breadcrumbs. I want the button. Okay, so button, I want this. Okay, secondary text, you could play with it. You've seen that. You could change anything you want to change. You can add an icon to your button. You can even increase the size and alignment of your button. Large, XL, XXL, small, depending on what you want. The button width, you see that you could reduce, you could increase 100%, large. You could even say full. So it's the same thing. Then if you want to link the button to a page, what do? I could say www.google.com and tell it to open in a new tab. Typography, we've explained that. Bold, I want this to be bold. Okay. What else? Please follow me. Layout and position, I've explained. We'll be talking on some of these things later. Okay, see. So let's come back here and let's refresh. Alright. So look at it. Click and it opens in a new page. Okay, so we can decide to put our affiliate link there. That's how to do the button style. Let's see again. Button, there's another one, call to action. Okay, insert a call to action. Not everyone might have that, but yes, that reminds me, these are just building blocks that you could use. Now when you choose a template, every template has its own building block, and that's the plus here. I've taught you how to duplicate, which is by clicking on this. But if you place, each of the sections have their own boxes. We're going to be talking about them later. So it's this plus at the middle there. When you place your mouse on it for every section, depending on the kind of template you choose, it comes with its own blocks. So content blocks, all right. Each of the templates have their own page block. This does not have a page block, but you could just search for resources, things you think you may need. There are designs that have been done that you could just use. Rather than designing your own, then you can edit them. Let's say list of steps, for example. That's all. They are simple as that. Then you can now begin to add your own color, image, or anything. All you have to do is what? Click on block. Let's see, product rating, pros and cons. Product rating, pros and cons. Yes, like why this is good, why this is bad. You could do that. You get that? So let me stop the video here, and in the next video we are going to have to make use of all the things we've done to design this. I'm going to be very fast, so since I've explained most of the things you may need here, just be copying and pasting. Then I'll do another video only for connecting your forms, and try, is it Lightbox? That will be it. Alright, see you in the next class. Ciao.